Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Altacruz, the Mental Health Coordinator for Nina Joint School District. Today I just want to go over a few things to help you in transitioning back to school in these very unfamiliar times and these very unpredictable times. First of all, I just want to say that we are so glad that your students are coming back to school, whether it be in person or virtually or distance learning. It is just so exciting to have everyone back. And I've talked to so many teachers that are so excited about seeing their kids again and getting back to their relationships and connections with them. And I think, the first thing that everyone should be thinking about, including adults, is how to get back into this routine. One of the things that I like as a saying is if it's predictable, it's preventable. And routines help us to make things predictable because when we're in a routine, we can actually notice when behaviors change, when feelings start to get more intense, or when they do try to get out of that routine for whatever reason, to stay up later or perhaps to really start to want to refuse going to school and things like that. So it's really important to give students some routine, and it doesn't matter the age. A bedtime, a limit on how much they're using social media and video gaming and watching TV and things like that to get them outside and getting them to doing other things that are helpful for them. But also praising them for a job well done. So if they're getting up on time, if they're remembering to bring their mask to school, just how they're adapting to things in general. I'm very impressed. For example, I have 3 children. My youngest is 15. He goes to the high school, and I was very impressed with how he adapted to being online. And I think some of the fears that I have or had were probably more related to my own experience of high school and not really kind of trying to figure out what his experience is and letting him dictate what we talked about. So that does bring us to the next topic, which is how do we talk about safety at school, right? Essentially, it's really important that we remind and reassure our children that they are safe and that we are doing everything we can to keep them safe. Let them, again, dictate what they want to talk about. Ask them what they've heard, what their friends are talking about. And, give them some facts, unclear or subjective kinds of opinions about things aren't very helpful. Go to reputable sites to find out what the facts are. Explain things in simple terms. We're trying to reduce germs being spread, so it's important to keep our distance, cover our coughs, wear our masks if we're not able to keep our distance, and to wash our hands. But just simple things. Don't tell kids not to be worried. That's like telling someone to relax when you know they're tense. Instead, let them explain their feelings to you. There's a popular phrase that Daniel Siegel, a child pediatrician, uses, which is name it to tame it. And essentially what he's talking about is that if you can name your emotions accurately, you can also see a reduction in the amount of stress you feel over those feelings. So if you can name those feelings for them or help them to name their feelings, that can be very effective and helpful to them. Next, be age appropriate. We know early on in elementary that brief, simple information that balances facts with appropriate reassurances can help students feel safer. Let them know that masks and washing hands keep them and their friends healthy. So very simple types of explanations. In upper elementary, they can ask a lot more questions, as you're quite aware, and they may need some more separating rumor from fantasy. They may make up some things in their mind that sounds as though things are really going really badly, and they really are not. So helping them to understand that. They're going to take their cues from us, so it's really important for us to stay factual, but also positive. Discuss the efforts that others are doing to protect them that are around them in their immediate life, like their teachers, if they have a doctor that they're seeing, the school nurses, those types of folks. In the secondary, it's important to again let them kind of lead that discussion, refer them to appropriate sources for facts. Don't try to answer questions that you don't know. Be honest and accurate. Engage them in decision making about how they can be helpful and supportive to their family, their school, and their friends. Having them do things for others during this time is a great opportunity for them to see that it's not all about them, it's about the larger community and how they can be of help to folks who may be struggling more than they are. Watch your media consumption. Go to trusted sites like WebMD, Mayo Clinic, CDC, or the American Academy of Pediatrics for up-to-date information or guidance on whatever you have questions about. If you're not getting reassured or learning helpful actions to take, it's okay to disconnect from news sources or others that are just making more and more upset. It's okay to unplug. Again, it's important to look at how much we are consuming and whether it's helpful to us. So eating meals together can get you away from computers and phones. Play a game, go outside, go for a walk, or even a drive, and just allow yourselves to be with each other and experience each other. That's really important during this time. Also, use the Neenah Joint School District website. It is a great source of information about what we're doing, and it has a lot of other helpful websites and resources that can help you with everything from financial issues to concerns about getting food to what are the current data in the county and all these different things that you can find on our website. One of the things that I think is really helpful is exploring with children their sources of strength. These are the things that get us through tough times. And there are the people in our lives, our family, the mentors, the teachers, the coaches, our music teachers, our drama teachers, our band teachers, art teachers, all these folks that are important people in our lives and help us to feel like we have purpose and meaning. Our positive friends. Positive friends are ones who give you energy and the ones that help you to get the help you need if it's over their head, not the ones that bring you down or keep secrets and those types of things. Doing things for others. Again, finding ways for your child to do things for others. Writing a letter to grandma. Writing a letter to a nursing home in general. Drawing pictures to support those who are essential workers that are helping us. Spirituality, certainly that's super important. Wherever you find your strength and your faith, or even where you find purpose and meaning in your life. Remembering to exercise, to get your kids out there, to move around, to get up every 20 minutes and move around. Getting plenty of sleep during this time really helps to build up reserves against really stressful things. Nutrition, making sure that they're eating right. And then reaching out for help when things are getting too much for everyone. And who do you reach out to? Do you need to talk to the teachers? Do you need to talk to a school counselor? Do you want to get mental health therapy in the community? Whatever it is, realizing that that is also a source of strength when you reach out for help. And I've said this before, but tune down that negativity and put your oxygen mask on first. So kids look to us for cues, and if we're not in a good place, then they're going to see that, and it's going to make them more stressful. So whatever we can do to make ourselves feel more in control and feeling better about ourselves and feeling better about our situation, then we need to do that for ourselves so that we can stay positive and hopeful for our kids. That means forgiving yourself when you're not always positive and hopeful, and when things aren't going well, then finding ways to come up with better ways of dealing with those emotions and problems and situations. Apologize. That's a great role modeling thing to do, is to apologize when you've made a mistake or you hurt someone's feelings, and model that humility. You don't know all the answers. But be patient and realize that it's better to probably move slowly to move fast, to really keep yourself in check on that. And then get help for yourself. If you're ever needing help finding a therapist, you're more than welcome to call me. My phone number is 920-751-6800, and my extension is 10123. I'll be showing you that again later on in this. Who can I talk to if my child has a lot of anxiety and behavior problems? Well, first of all, it's recognizing it. And for preschoolers, it's really one of the things you'll notice is they're regressing, that they're doing some more of the things that they had pretty much gotten through, such as bedwetting and thumb sucking. Maybe they're more clinging to you. Sleep problems, including nightmares or even night terrors. Loss of appetite. Any kind of new fears that come up for them that they really weren't that afraid of before, particularly if it's related to the germs and things like that related to COVID. And regression to old fears or behavioral issues. And, of course, withdrawal if they just don't want to be around anybody. Elementary, similarly, but you also will see more irritability, aggressiveness, that clinginess there, nightmares. Sometimes they'll refuse to go to school, and their concentration will be affected sometimes, and then sometimes they will also withdraw from activities and friends. This isn't necessarily all of these things, but if you notice these things as coming up quite often or intensely, and it's affecting their ability to function. Finally, adolescence, you're going to see more sleeping and eating problems, more agitation, more conflictual behavior, either with you or with their friends, physical complaints, behavioral problems, and poor concentration. I really do believe that there's some really great resources out there, and I can certainly help you with finding them, but you can always talk to your pediatrician, your school counselor to help as well. But oftentimes with these things, we see behaviors and we want the behaviors to stop, but that's kind of like cutting out the dandelions without getting to the roots. So we want to find out more about what's causing these behaviors rather than just saying stop the behavior. And if we can find out what's causing these behaviors, we can sometimes find out how to keep the students from having those behaviors as much as they do. I always say this about anxiety and other things: it's you don't cure it, you manage it. You find better ways of identifying it and then managing that behavior, those emotions, finding more healthier ways of dealing with that. And that may mean a whole lifestyle change in the way that you deal with things. But again, you're not getting rid of it, you're not curing it, you're just finding ways to do better with it most of the time. And what other resources are helpful? I'm a big fan of Natasha Daniels' AT Parenting website and her podcast. She has 2 or 3 kids, I believe 2 kids with anxiety disorders, and she is a therapist herself, and she has guests on her podcast that are amazing. She also has some resources on YouTube that you can play for your kids and for yourself. So a lot of free stuff on her website and her podcast. If you want to pay, you certainly can, and I'm not a proponent of paying if you don't have to. So, I think you can find enough in there that you wouldn't have to pay for any of the things that she offers. But if you'd like to, it sounds like she has a lot more stuff that way too. The National Association of School Psychologists website, the American Counseling Association's website, the American Academy of Pediatricians website, all are excellent websites, as well as CDC. CDC has a lot of resources on there for parenting and kids. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My name, again, is Mike Altacruz. I am the mental health coordinator, and I'm a psychologist by training. There's my email down here at the bottom, altacruz@nina.k12.wi.us. You can look that up on the NJSD website. And then my number again is 920-751-6800, extension 10123. I hope you have a wonderful year, and I hope that you put your oxygen mask on first and take care of yourself. We'll get through this one day at a time. Take care.